Hey, Govcon Giants family, your host here, Eric Coffie. Welcome you to another exciting episode of the Govcon Giants podcast. Today, I actually bring you a person from a boutique accounting firm that helps small businesses, particularly those in the federal contract arena, stay compliant with regulatory issues, balance their books, and much, much more. I'm bringing on today Staci Martineau from Diener Associates, CPA firm. And Staci and I met over at an event down at with Gloria Larkin, Target Gov. And so when we first met, she was discussing with me how they actually had spoke to people from my team about helping us with our small business and also with a nonprofit. And so again, Staci had a personality much similar to mine, which is really bubbly. And considering that she's a CPA, it really shocked me because I had never met CPAs with exciting personalities. So I know that this particular topic, it may not be very exciting, so I don't expect a lot of views from it. However, it is much needed. And so I do encourage you. It is a fun episode. We're going to discuss cost accounting, but we're not going to get into the technical side. It's more of a high level view of what needs to happen. What do you need to do in order to ensure that you're both compliant with the government and that you also are presenting your company in a position to grow, scale, and eventually sell if that's what you want to do. So stay tuned with this upcoming episode with Staci Martineau for the Govcon Giants podcast. All right. Welcome, Staci. How are you this morning?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. It's we're approaching September, the last month in the fiscal year.
Woohoo, woohoo.
And so all of the crazies, all of us crazy people are running around and, trying to help the government to get this last minute budget, the last minute dollars spent, appropriated, in a efficient manner. Would you agree?
Definitely. I can't get any of my clients to have financial meetings with me. They only want to do pricing meetings.
Okay, nice. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about tell us who you are and the name of your company, and then we could dive into why do people want to reach out to you for pricing meetings?
So I'm Staci Martineau. I work for Diener Associates. We're a small boutique CPA firm in Falls Church, Virginia. We specialize in the Govcon environment, and that's what we do. We consider government contracting our niche. We're not really accountants. We're more advisories and advisors to our clients, and they grow and we grow. We grow when they grow.
Nice. And we I was first introduced to you guys. We reached out, and I think we had some conversations with my team some 6 months ago. But then at the event with Gloria and Target Gov. So yeah. So and again, that's one of the things that as a person who's a sales guy and a BD guy, get out, right? Like I tell you, get out from behind the offices or behind your desk now because we're all working from home and go meet people.
Right.
And so and I'll be honest, for me, I'm no different than anyone else, right? Obviously, if we receive someone, we talk to someone via email, right? That's one thing. But if I meet you in person and we discuss what it is that you do, and we have some of the similar associates and connection, that makes it much more palatable to work with, to engage and develop relationships with. So
relationships are definitely within other relationships all the time. You build your network and your family through connection.
Yeah, absolutely. So now I noticed you've been there for some time now.
Yeah. So funny. My story begins. Mike Diener owns the firm. I used to work for a small Govcon 8A. I was basically actually part owner. But I was their accounting department, basically a single member accounting department, running the shop for an 8A firm. And Mike was my independent CPA. So Mike was my independent CPA. We worked for the Center of Military History for years and years and years down on Fort McNair. And, as many 8A contractors get bought out or bought up, and the contract goes to somebody else, people change. And Mike actually took me under his wing. So we've been together for like 27 years, I think.
Oh, that's a great story.
When we're together, people are like, are you married, brother or sister? What is it?
No, that's
we just worked together for so long. It's like,
Nice, nice.
So yeah, that's my beginning, and just growing up through Govcon and cost accounting through that.
Now, when you worked at the small business 8A firm, what was your accounting experience prior to that?
Little to none.
Okay. So you kind of got you cut your teeth at that small firm.
Yeah, funny. How I cut my teeth was DCAA. We won a contract, had a free award on it, failed miserably. They came and they said, okay, we'll give you 3 months to fix it. Fixed it within 3 months. Had no idea what I was doing, but fixed it within 3 months. Came back, got the Center of Military History Award, and worked for them for 5 years. And
what was it? Well, now that you said it failed, did it fail for like accounting reason or estimating reason?
Yeah, basically we didn't have it. We didn't have a cost accounting system. We implemented Deltek after that. So
it failed. So you didn't have a cost accounting system, is why you could not receive the award.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't have a cost accounting system at all. It was just their very first award. And basically we implemented it took 3 months and we implemented Deltek from that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now you said, so that's, it's interesting that they gave you even a chance to come back.
This was,
I know it's back in the days.
Yeah, right. I'm dating myself now, really. But yeah, no, it was 1996, 97.
I heard you. Okay, I got you. Wow. So no, that's so they gave you 3 months to come back. You implemented Deltek. Now, were you part of that process of implementing Deltek?
I did it all myself. Basically, I was the one that did it.
Okay.
Myself and
what type of project was it?
So we were logisticians. We worked for the Center of Military History, and we did loaned military archives, like basically a Browning gun vault that belonged to some general. The Center of Military History had it, and they would loan it out to the Smithsonian or whatever.
I don't know that stuff, right? Like, I don't think people listening to this know that how we obtain artifacts. I think that if from my standpoint, I assume the government owned all that stuff anyways.
Well, the government does own it, but we were logisticians moving them to and from, and also kept track of who had them.
Okay, gotcha.
The Center of Military History, yeah. The flag that was on the Pentagon, actually, and 9/11, when it came down off of the Pentagon, who was going to take it? Center of Military History got the flag, and they preserved it and kept it for the government.
Oh, so you guys basically helped move that stuff all the way around everywhere.
All over the place. I didn't personally, but
no, I know, of course not. No.
People, I was behind the desk,
right. Making sure all the numbers and everything was
everything ticked.
Right. Okay. Now, you mentioned Deltek, and are there other cost accounting systems out there that people can use?
Yes. And I don't think that a cost accounting system also makes you compliant either. It's basically, that's a myth.
There you go. Yeah. Myth number one. Myth number one. Say it. Right. Say myth number one. Myth number one is.
Myth number one. Don't think an accounting system or an accounting system in general, whether they sell it as a cost accounting system or not, is compliant. It's the
Gotcha.
System and the policy and procedures that you put in place, and actually how you use the system. So Deltek and others. So you got Deltek, Uninet, Microsoft Nav, Jobus. There's all kinds of cost accounting systems out there.
Gotcha.
Procast.
Okay. Now tell us about, so how does someone become compliant?
So the first start with compliance is, what do you have? What are your FAR clauses? That's your kind of your Bible to compliance and what you have to do to maintain compliance. For your contract. And that could be multiple things depending on what those clauses are. But accounting, it's pretty much the SF 1408. It's that questionnaire. It's, how do you allocate your cost? Do you have timesheets? Are people using timesheets? Are they using them appropriately? Do they do labor distribution? How about job status reporting? Do you know how much profit you're making in each job, and where's that coming from, all the way down to the people. So that's cost accounting and compliance, and the government actually expects you to do it, and it's not, as my boss would say, it's not a bad way of doing things, because it's a great way of tracking the profitability of your business.
Right.
Because it allows you to track it all the way down to the man.
It just is hard. I'm not an accounting guy, so I'm going to say it's hard for Eric Coffie. How's that?
Okay. Yeah.
It's just hard.
It's very logical for me. It's very logical.
Is it?
Yeah. It's a logical method, because basically, if you take for, the old butts and seats thing, you take a person, they've got a labor dollar that you're paying them. And then it's just a matter of figuring out, where all that other cost comes from, and how you're going to pull it together and show the federal government. So, logical in a way, I guess.
Okay. I'll take it. So that's, when does a small business, when do we need to start doing cost accounting?
So basically, again, it's going to be, what'd you answer in the RFP? How did you answer your question in the RFP about what kind of system you have and how does it allocate cost? Fixed price. People say that you don't need to, when you engage with the federal government, basically when you engage with the federal government, whether it's, a subcontractor or a prime, you should understand how to do cost accounting, or not understand how to do cost accounting, have someone do it for you, so you can actually have a good conversation with contracting officers and other people about what your real costs are. And that's the one way that you price. So cost accounting and estimating system. So the two things that you guys do as government contractors, you get proposals, which is basically your estimating system, and cost accounting. Basically, that's your SF 1408 and the compliance. They're supposed to be mirrored hand in hand. That's something else a lot of people don't understand. So
say that again. Wait, slow down. You said cost accounting and estimating systems.
Yeah.
And then you said a number, something 1408.
Oh yeah. SF 1408. That's the checklist. That's the compliance checklist for cost accounting system.
Okay.
The estimating system and your cost accounting system. The way you estimate your price for the federal government and you do your cost proposals should mirror how your cost accounting system is set up. So your indirect pools and the way you apply your indirect rates should mirror the exact same way you propose it to the federal government. Okay.
Now,
and I'll go elaborate on that.
Keep going. Yes, please.
All right. So if you've got fringe, overhead, and G&A cost pools, right? Yeah. That's how your cost accounting system is set up. If you choose to maybe all of a sudden start engaging in a lot of subcontract activity where you really can't tack that G&A onto subs because it's a lot more than what the government's willing to pay.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly, and what the government's willing to pay. You might need a sub-material handling pool.
Might need a what?
A sub-material and handling
pool. Okay. All right. Yep.
To tack on to that, because you can't recover all your G&A, right?
Sure.
So that's changing your cost pools and how you're actually accounting for cost. If you do that in a proposal environment and you win, your cost accounting system now needs to mimic that.
Right. I got you. No, that makes sense. Right. Yeah. Because we think about it. We're doing what it takes to win. Right. And then we expect accounting folks on the back end side to figure out what our brains were thinking in the negotiation side.
Right. Exactly.
Thanks, Staci. That was good. I like that one. You made my brain a little connect some dots today.
Right. I mean, and think about it. I was connecting with people last night because I got out from behind my desk.
Okay.
And we were talking about it, and we were talking about GSA schedules and all of that. And I said the exact same thing. And she's like, you know what? No one ever asks me about that. And I'm like, because they don't understand it. They don't really know that, that it is really supposed to mimic each other, that your estimating system and your cost accounting system kind of have to mimic each other.
I like that. Do they need to be, I guess, are there systems that do them both, or do we need two different systems?
So there are systems that allow you to track your cost and give you historical data. Those are your cost accounting systems that allow you to do your estimating for follow-on projects appropriately.
But what does Staci recommend? Do you recommend having two separate systems?
There are two separate systems.
Okay.
Basically. It's two separate systems.
Yeah. Okay. Now, look, I mean, again, I tell people all the time, I don't give advice. I speak in gestalt, but I want to know what you think. So then that way I can, when we're investigating any type of systems, all of us out here, right? Look at new software, whether, CRM, ERP, all these things, you just don't know. It's so difficult to like pinpoint like what you need. So at least I know that, okay, I need two different systems. I need an estimating system and a cost accounting system. You gave me some ideas of cost accounting systems. You named off some Microsoft products. You named off UNet product, Deltek. Do you have any of the estimating systems or is that just all over the place?
It's just all over the place.
Okay, that's fair.
Yep.
No, because we're in construction and we have one. I know people that do janitorial services has their own systems.
Yeah.
I know that people. Yeah. So I know IT folks have systems that they use. So
exactly, right. They're all over the place, and typically they are standardized to the industry that you work in.
Okay, good stuff. All right, this is good. I'm liking it.
So along all of that system stuff, there's purchasing systems as well. Like, how do you actually purchase with the federal government? And again,
tell me more.
Well, so contract and purchasing system. So basically, as you do work with the federal government and maybe you contract out, are you going through the proper steps at hiring your subcontractors to do work underneath federal procurement?
Really? I mean, I know the rules, I know the law, and let me tell you, I am like yourself, my experience involves working with companies. Typically, our contract sizes are, less than say $5 million. And so we don't, I have never had to experience having a purchasing system for how we buy subs. And again, my industry is construction. So for me, I'm really naive to that. And so I'm just very curious.
I was going to say, as a small business, a lot of times you're not going to have to do those kinds of things because the flow down clauses probably aren't going to come to you. You know what I mean?
So I do put flow down clauses in my subcontract agreements.
Okay.
So I do cover myself that way. But in terms of having a purchasing system, we have systems that manage our subcontractors, and those systems manage all of our subcontractors' compliance with insurance and things like that.
And then when you hire them, are you actually going out and are you only taking one? And almost, are you doing what the government does to?
I get you saying, are you actually going out and you're are you soliciting multiple bids?
Yes.
Right. I got you.
Yes.
Sure.
Yep. That's
sure.
Exactly
and I think that the issue for us becomes not whether or not we're doing it or not. It's just, are we tracking it? Because obviously we do it as quickly as we're prudent and responsible myself as a contractor, you and I, if you hire an air conditioning guy to come to your house, you're probably not going to take the first guy anyways. Right.
Right.
So just as a prudent contractor move, we do that, but we could probably do a better job of tracking it.
And then the next step, talking about tracking it, all of these things that we're talking about, the government wants written down. They want you to have a policy, actual written policy and procedure for it,
Yeah.
So it's back in the day, we could get by. We could get by with just showing them Deltek and walking them through it and not having, so much of a written policy. We could have a draft or whatever, and they would buy off on it. But they're really down now on, written policy and procedures. And are you training them? Are you training your staff regularly on that stuff?
Thank you for that. Now, Is that where, and I don't want to mess up the name. How does he pronounce the name? Diener? Diener. Okay. All right. I'll remember that. Diener. Okay. So is that something that your company helps with?
We do.
Okay. So tell us, give me a menu of services that you offer.
Okay. So what we do, basically, I said, government contracting is our niche. We help with the acquisition side of the procurement industry from, oh gosh. So funny. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just sharing for the people that are watching on YouTube, so that while you're talking, they can be listening and watching. Yep. They don't have to go to your website on the side. So
basically, the acquisition side of procurement on the cost side of things from A to Z. We can help from the RFP process for you to understand what the RFP is requiring, all the way down to contract closeout, requests for equitable adjustments, anything that the government, in the procurement industry needs on the cost side of things. I stay away from technical. We do not do the technical. Our clients are the professional technical people in the room, but we do the acquisition side of the cost house from A to Z. Incurred cost submissions, like I said, request for equitable adjustments, change orders. We act as the DCAA liaison for our clients because we don't like our clients interacting directly with the federal auditors, and that we'd like to make sure that there's an intermediate between, because we know what they're asking, and we know what to say, what not to say, that type of thing. So that's us. We've got tax. Let's not forget about our tax department. We've got a great guy, master in tax, UVA grad, and then we have a whole side of accounting. So I do the government compliance. We've got a whole accounting side of the house that, for me to be able to do the compliance side, I need good books. And we've got that on the other side of the house as well. Nonprofits. We do some nonprofit work.
All right. So everything on the compliance side.
Yeah. That's me.
It's interesting. I had a person on my podcast recently that works for an accounting firm, and I see you doing advisory services like M&A stuff, valuations. On their compliance side, they actually now are helping with compliance for diversity and inclusion for large businesses.
Oh, wow.
That's an area that they picked up on their side because it's part of compliance now with some of their current clients.
Right.
Was meeting the diversity and inclusion goals.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I don't know if you guys talk about internally, but I did. I learned. I was like, wow.
SF 1408 I was telling you about.
I'm sorry.
I said there's that SF 1408 I was telling you about.
Hold on, where is it at? Let me see.
Right there.
Oh, there it is. SF 1408. There you go. And so I thought that was interesting, just because when we as our small businesses, when we think about contracting with in certain socioeconomic categories, and then in particularly when some of these prime contracts are awarded contracts that are it's a federal contract, but it's got state and local dollars. There's multiple levels of regulations and compliance that they have to do. And so, I now see how it connects the dots for the companies handling all of the compliance, like you said, the regulations that you guys doing specifically when it comes to the cost side of things, that is being impacted by what you mentioned, right? Which is the purchasing system.
Right.
And part of the estimate that they did to win and involve subcontractors, subcontractor goals, percentage of contracts award to subcontractors.
All of it. Yeah, all of it. The basis on all of that is where do you want to go as a small business too? So we're always about your goal. When you talk about like the merger and acquisition type of thing, we start with our clients and what's your end goal? As a business owner, do you want to sell? Do you want to maybe leave it to your family member and bring them up in the company and leave it to them? But we have a lot of times that we find our small government contractors, like I said, we grow when they grow. They grow when we grow. Basically, we start out as a 1-2 man shop, and sell them to Fortune 500. We've gone several times international. We currently might have a client going public. So that'll be a first one for us. Yeah. Exciting, just exciting to just take these small businesses and teach them, what we know about pricing or, rules and regulations. And going back to the rules and regulations, this is where I was going to. When you said state, local, grant, all of that stuff, the majority of it follows the Code of Federal Regulation. It pretty much starts there and flows down from there. That kind of is the standpoint for the FAR, the DFARs, and all of those internal agency, in code of regulations that they come up with. It all starts, with the Code of Federal Regulation. So.
Let me ask you a selfish question. You've said nonprofit. So you guys support nonprofits?
We do.
Really?
That's how you and I. That's how we originally met.
What do you mean?
Because I think you guys we got connected because you looked at that we supported nonprofits.
Oh, maybe someone on my team.
Someone on your team. That's what I'm saying.
Because that's what we need help with. That's why. That's why.
That's not me.
Well, see, you know what happens is someone on my team, we need help because we recently became a nonprofit. Govcon Giants did.
I know.
And so we are anticipating obviously really big things for our organization. And so, I have no experience in running a nonprofit, but I do know, like anything else, I did want to hire someone to handle all the compliance issues with a nonprofit, which, from the actual board to having the meetings and all, the reporting, that kind of stuff.
Right.
That's what we were looking for. And interesting. Oh, so that's how I didn't know that, to be honest. I wasn't part of that conversation.
Yeah, well, no. And I don't think I was part of the conversation on the other end either. You know what I mean? But we were in passing and I'm like, you know what? Let's get in touch with Maria and let's talk to her.
That's what it is.
Because I think we can connect in other ways,
Yeah,
so
no, let's have that conversation. Let's have that conversation because we still have that issue. And, we want to make sure we're compliant because we anticipate receiving, some donations that are substantial. And we want to just make sure that obviously we do the right things. And
I'll get you hooked up with the right person in Diener.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, wow. See, I didn't even know that part of the story.
Spaces,
you see,
right?
I didn't know that part. That's really good. Okay, good. I'm happy to hear that. Just I don't want to get in trouble. I'm a very public figure, so I don't want to get in trouble.
You think?
I don't know. Some people I think don't care, but I personally don't want any problems.
I like to lay down with my.
I like to lay in my pillow. I don't want to. So, and then 2 is, when we're talking to these organizations and we're showing them all the great work we're doing, it doesn't help me if we're not compliant, right? On the finance side, because how can we support their donations or receive them if we're not helping them to maintain compliance? That does no one any good.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But the good thing is this, I'll say, is that we're starting from a clean slate of books. So we've never done any financial transactions with that organization. Just because we weren't approved as a nonprofit, so we didn't.
Right.
So we have 0 in the books.
That's awesome.
So
we start them.
So you can't even mess us up. Like we can't even mess you up. You can't 0. We're starting with claims like 0. Nothing. Yeah. So it's really hard. It's really hard to mess up nothing.
Can't mess up nothing.
So all right, good. That's good. All right. Let's talk more about. So you said you meet with the clients. By the way, I love what you said about helping the clients grow with them from one, mom and pop up to acquisition, up to. That's amazing.
It's awesome. I mean, it's awesome. I just, so mom and pop family.
Talk to me. Give me a story.
So multiple things. I just a couple days ago yesterday had a client that I helped, got a 290 million IDIQ contract with NASA.
Wow. That's
mom and pop shop. Started out with us. I think we've been clients 16 years. I mean, they've been a client of ours, and just started out as a onesie twosie, and now they're going to be a couple hundred employees.
right. Right. Yeah.
It's awesome.
No, that's interesting. How do people find you?
We're typically word of mouth. We've got a client down in Kentucky that are a bunch of scientists, and basically made the antidote when the Americans came back from Africa and had the Ebola virus. Is it a virus?
Okay.
Basically, my client actually gave them a 3-part cocktail that saved their lives.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 Americans that flew into Atlanta. It was great because we took that company from, they were owned by a small hospital, R&D. The hospital didn't want them anymore. They went through merger acquisition, won to a Fortune 500 company, bought them out, thought we were going to be out the door because we knew that
Sure.
they had their big accounting firm with that big name on the
Yep. Big brand.
That big
On the
brand.
wall.
And we thought for sure we were going to be out the door, but they kept us. Actually got bought out again by an international company. Again, thought we were like
Right.
be out
Yeah.
the
We're
door
done.
again.
We're finished.
Yep. But no, I mean, we helped that company get, government furnished equipment that had put in their facility, several $1 million, multi-million dollar
Right.
government finished equipment for, pennies
Sure.
on the dollar.
Yeah.
But that's word of mouth. All of that's word of mouth. And Texas, word of mouth. But it's
Sure.
all word of mouth.
Maybe I might keep you guys a secret. I might not release this episode. I think you guys are the best kept secret I've heard of.
No.
I might keep this one tabled,
No.
like one of those unreleased albums.
That's it. I said I'm going to be so bad they're not going to release it.
I like that. No, that's just great. Wow.
But yeah, no, we grow when our clients grow. We grow with word of mouth. Starting kind of a marketing campaign because we're a small business. I think there's 15 to 20 of us at any given time.
Sure.
So
yeah, but that's good for an accounting firm.
Yeah, it is. When we are, we don't take on tons of clients every single year. We're, very picky and choosy of, not necessarily picky and choosy of who we take on, but we're not just going to take on someone to fill the void.
I love that. I'm the same way now. I don't work with people I don't like. I tell my host that if someone gives you a hard time, give them their money back.
Let them go home.
I said, I'm, I've had enough. I come from the construction industry, and people are very vulgar, and everyone's mouth should be washed out with soap, right? If you look at the old days, and I said, I left that industry for that very same reason, just because I couldn't take it. I couldn't stand people telling me repulsive things on a day in and day out basis, like as if it should be. It's like as if it was good morning and good evening.
Right.
I just regular activity for them, and they slept fine, they ate fine, and you're stuff with heart palpitations, trying to stomach the words coming out of their mouth. So now I don't do that anymore.
I agree. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. I have to sleep at night. I don't do that anymore either.
No, this is wonderful. Now, as a small business client, right, of yours, at what point, I know you said you dealt with mom and pops, but it seems like you're, can a person come in there with 3 employees to you?
Yeah. And I can take a 3-person employee and use QuickBooks and a decent timekeeping system and a couple Excel spreadsheets and make you compliant as well.
Nice.
Secret.
Will it cost me an arm and a leg? I know you're going to say no, but
I think I started off saying that we were a boutique firm, right? I think I did say that. We're not cheap, but you get what you pay for.
Like good answer. I like that.
I think I think our clients would attest to that as well, that you get what you pay for.
No.
I recently tell me I was the best bang for his buck he had. So
Okay, I like that. That's a good answer. You're the best bang for our buck. That's good.
Yeah,
I like that
motto.
That's a good motto. I think you guys should put that on the website. Best bang for your buck.
Best bang for your buck.
I like that. You know that's going to be the title of your YouTube video, right? That's going to be a YouTube thumbnail, just so you know. I hope the boss knows that's going to be our YouTube thumbnail.
I should have already trademarked it.
You should have, right? I think you should. I think you definitely should trademark it. I can tell you this: if you need help with your marketing campaign, I already like working with you guys already. So that will make a great marketing campaign.
Not right? We're the best bang for your buck.
Yeah. Well, here in Florida, so it says we have on a big billboard that says it's like a naked, it's not naked, but it's a lady that's like kind of semi-nude. It says something about like I know she's hot or something like that, but what about your house? And it was like an air conditioning advertisement. It was something to that effect.
You're gonna look at that,
right? It was like, I know she's hot, but what about your house? Is your house cool or something to that effect? Right?
I love
Call
it.
such and such AC company.
No,
I think that's great. Let's pivot with the last remaining 20 minutes that we have, and let's talk about some fun stuff. So what's a recent purchase that you made on Amazon that brought you joy?
Oh wow, a recent purchase. Okay, so you see my boys behind me.
I see them.
I'm a dog mom. I've been a dog mom all my life. So
those are nice, by the way. I love they're very classy. I love how they're put together. So I mean,
thank you. I've got one more coming because he's no longer around. This one right here. But the other one is. I've got two. But anyway, I've got the other one coming. Everyone's like, you have two dogs. Why is the other one missing? Because one of them isn't up. But anyway, my dogs are my life. So my recent joy purchase was some beach toys to take that with them on vacation.
Oh, nice. Okay. Where are you guys headed for vacation?
Southern Shores, North Carolina.
Where is it?
Southern Shores, North Carolina. Nags Head, basically.
I never heard of it.
Nags Head, North Carolina.
Okay. Never heard of it, but
it's called Outer Banks.
All right. No, I'll look it up. I just, I'm not the North Carolina expert. I'm not.
Well, I was going to say, you're also not, if you're from down in Florida area too, so you're not going to want to travel to these beaches. These beaches are beaches for like us Northerners. Even though I'm in Virginia, I'm a Northerner.
Okay. There. Right. Okay. I got you. That makes sense. Nice
beaches though.
Are there any quotes or famous sayings that you've operated by? Quotes, sayings, anything that that you say often that you give people when you're talking to them? I mean, I'm sure someone that knew you could say, "Oh, I know Staci. She always says."
Well, so it's funny that it's not necessarily a quote or a saying. Basically, I whoop whoop. Everything is, if something's good, we're whooping it. Whoop whoop.
Oh, okay.
So the 290 million, we got a lot of whoop whoops,
I like that.
I guess my motto or what I live by is stand by the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bad news doesn't get better with time. Unfortunately, there's, as an accountant or someone that has to review financial statements sometimes with people, sometimes it's not always great news. So, bad news, just bite the bullet and let them know what it is and then fix it, help them fix it.
Right. No, that's important. That for me, I think what I've seen, I'm not even going to share my story. I'd rather take up more rest of the time with you. Can you share in a story? I had a guest of mine that talks about operating with excellence, right? And she said to me that when she won her first contract, and I don't remember the agency, she says it was a 6-month contract and she stayed there for 10 years. And she says, Eric, you know how many people, other small businesses I've seen come and go on different contracts? Talk to me about that. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I would say, like I said, we're a small business. We can't take on a lot of clients, so to take on a client and get them up and running in a manner that we like to have our clients up and running, it takes a lot of time. So we don't have, you know, we don't take on 50 clients a year, 10 maybe,
Right.
It's something
Right.
like that. And it's because we get to keep our client base. The clients that we have, we proved to them time and time again that, we're worth staying for. And like I said, we help them grow. It's a partnership and growing and making sure that we're producing that excellent product for our clients so they can produce excellent products for their clients. I just feel like if old saying garbage in, garbage out, and I feel like that goes along with the people that you keep around you, with your clients, with the people that you keep around you, with your family and your friends. I just think that that's something that if you work and strive to be around good people and put out a good product, that's always going to come back tenfold. I mean, and it's same thing with bad stuff. The old saying is you put good things out, it comes back tenfold. You put bad things out, that bad juju is going to come back tenfold too. That's just the way I live my life. It's if put out bad vibes, you're going to get bad vibes back. I don't want to be that one.
No, I agree with you. I'm looking here. It says that you help. I see business process improvement, SOPs, process mapping, defining roles and role assignment. You do all that too?
Yeah. I mean, that's part of, putting controls and for an accounting department, understanding, who's spending the money and can't do the bank recs and who's signing off on purchase orders and that type of thing, who has controls over, credit card spending and paying the credit card, and even down to where the bank statement comes and is the business owner reviewing things or who should be reviewing things.
Yeah, I don't like looking at any of that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even want to know. I just wanted to.
I like to be. I gotta have a trusted advisor.
Yeah, I want to be. I need a trusted advisor.
Well, that's pretty much what we say.
Do you do the book? Do you do bookkeeping?
We do, but I don't personally do.
I know you don't personally.
Yes.
I love. You're too valuable. I know.
We have a whole accounting house of bookkeepers and accountants and yes, absolutely.
Oh man.
Back office support.
Can I be your client?
Yeah.
You sure? Do I fit the bill?
Yeah, you fit the bill.
All right, good. I like because I want to ring the bell with you. I want to say whoop whoop.
Whoop, whoop. I know, right? So whoop, whoop. Let's toast the champagne.
I want to ring the bell. Look, I've already been out with you guys one time. I know you're a lot of fun, so it's a good group. No, that's good. That's excellent.
Setting the bar on fire, though.
I missed setting the bar on fire.
That was pretty cool.
I mean, I saw the video, but I totally missed.
I was right there.
I missed the whole setting the bar on fire.
The setting the bar on fire is pretty cool.
You know what? I don't think that we've gotten you guys the pictures.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. I have the pictures here.
Okay.
I got the picture. We're gonna get you some pictures. Let whoever reached, I think it was Free that connected you.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, let her know when you get ready to do your marketing stuff that you want the pictures from that night, and then we'll make sure we'll get them uploaded to you.
Awesome. Great. Yeah.
Well, that'd be wonderful. No, look, I'm excited. I actually love everything that you're doing: succession planning, risk management, process improvement, corporate restructuring. I would love to maybe have a follow-on discussion about mergers and acquisitions from someone from your group.
Absolutely.
And let's put some stuff together. Before we close out, listen, why don't you tell small businesses, obviously we're gonna have all of your contact information here. We're gonna have all the links to everything out there. Why don't you tell them the type of clients that you like working with, so that way everyone doesn't bombard you, and we can kind of filter through some of the folks out there. And maybe, I want people to know, like, just tell them what you like, what you don't like,
We like to, it's easy. We like to work with clients that want to grow. We want you to grow. We really want you to grow. We'll start you out from onesie twosies, but we want you to employ people, because those people that you're employing, we can teach you how to make money off them very easily.
Love it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, listen, Staci, thank you. I mean, this has been wonderful. I've enjoyed our time we've had together, and I learned a lot about what you do. I've also learned how, I guess I don't know who didn't follow up on the nonprofit stuff, but either way, we're finally connected. So
Yeah, no, and that was fine too. Just like I said, I knew we were going to connect whether it was through the nonprofit or not, because as soon as I saw what you guys did, I told Emily Hawkins, our marketing manager, I was like, no, we don't care. We don't need them as a client. They're fine not to be a client. We want to talk to them about what they do.
yeah, no, and we'll definitely
synergy in this environment.
Yeah, no, and again, thank you. I appreciate that. Really, almost like yourself, and when you started off, I started off supporting an 8A contractor, and quickly I learned that the resources were scarce. And you're in Virginia, but we're in Florida. We were we're just so far from DC. I had never been in DC in my life. And so I assume like, okay, everybody in DC has all this information and they're just not sharing it with people like us in Florida. So when you look at, or when we looked at the numbers, the companies that were the largest were coming out of the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. And so we were having to work for them.
Right.
Even though this was like my backyard. And I'm like, well, why don't we have the same kind of training and knowledge and information? Because they're not doing it. They're trusting me as an expertise and they're essentially getting the contract. So I saw that and I just knew at some point in my career that I had to kind of change that or curve that at least and make this information accessible and publicly available for free. And I know that the government believes that they're doing that through all of their conduit of websites, but they do. But I always tell people that the government has the best programs in the world. They just don't have a good way of getting them to you or communicating how they work and how to maximize them. They just do a really poor job of that. So I love our government. I love all. Yeah. Once you're in, it's a no-brainer. But I said the programs are incredible. They're amazing. They just do a really poor job of marketing them to people. And when I speak to agencies and sub-agencies, they tell me, hey, look, I don't have a marketing budget, right? Like my budget is for the mission to get the mission accomplished. And Congress is not going to approve me to go out here and be marketing our services to customers. I said, well, maybe, that's where I come in. And that's what I did. And so I love what you're doing. I'm very excited to work with you. Definitely connect me with the person from the team. And
will do.
We'll have all your information and we'll share all this goodness out there.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming on today and giving us just a little bit of taste and insight. I have a page worth of notes, so that I can share. But no, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.